Hey guys, so I want to talk today about like sex. Yeah, that. I want to talk about healthy sex, and then I want to talk about like toxic makeup sex, that kind of thing, and just what the energy is to put into it for intent to make it that particular label, right? So I wrote down some stuff, and I do have my board here, but here's what's funny. I wrote down all of this stuff, and then of course my brain started to like go off on something else. Of course it did, Lee. Why would we think the squirrels wouldn't be churning? And then I started following I was listening to a content creator that was talking about renewal, like our birth, like our like in the Bible. And I like to refer to the Bible because a lot of us here in the Bible Belt in the South should know a lot of the things that are in it. So when you go through like a rebirth, like remember some of Jesus's friends, he renamed them because there was a rebirth within them. So at this point, it's almost like when you go through that rebirth, there is a portion, a big part of your life that is almost dead. And the reason why I say that is because as I was getting older, I'm 48 now, I almost said 49, not yet. But as I was getting older, I would have like these premonitions or thoughts that when I'm in my 40s, I'm gonna die. And I've told a couple people, I'm like, I don't know if this is real, and this is before the spiritual awakening or even coming out of the closet with like my abilities and that kind of stuff. But even when I was like 39, I remember I had kind of this thought like, oh shit, like I'm almost in my 40s. Like I keep having this thought that I'm going to die in my 40s. So I have like 9 years to figure that out, like 49 and then you're 50. So I'm like, shit, I wonder what day I'm going to fall on, And now I understand what it is or what it was within my mind, within the landscape of my mind. I died of self. I died of ego. I died of who I was, what I represented, the people in my life that didn't serve me, the situations in my life that were not uplifting me or pouring into my cup. So I died of that. So now it's like I'm in this rebirth process where it's like I'm having to discover who I am again, what I'm about, what I love, what I don't love. And even in doing that, you're going to figure out your boundaries, because I know at one point in my life, I didn't really know, like I heard the word, you understand like what they are, but then when you start to kind of reflect to yourself, you're kind of thinking, well, what are mine? I know I don't like that, but what comes with that? And when I say that, I'm saying what punishment comes with that? For me, it was cheating. If you cheat on me, I'm done. Because I'm not going to be able to mentally or in my heart chakra be able to, I don't want to say forgive, but let's add that, or even I'm not going to be able to bounce back from that, only because I feel like that's a childhood trauma because my dad cheated on my mom countless times. And then even on top of it, I have kind of a thought process with the whole cheating thing, because it comes into lies and deception. Like the whole energy about that is very sneaky. It's very Seven of Swords. It's very like, it's just not a good energy. And when he asked me to lie for him, this is my dad. When my dad asked me to lie for him because he was cheating on his first mistress, that's so crazy to say it out. I'm like, wow. But when that happened, he asked me to lie for him, and I was the scapegoat. So whenever I put up my boundaries and I said no, it was almost like, now, number one, I know, because he was coming to me, and then I said no. I think he thought that I was just going to be like, oh yes, anything. No, you're building your walls back up. You're placing every brick that they threw at you. You're making this boundary for yourself. And if it doesn't budge, or the energy that you reciprocate to them, sorry, my hair's wet. I just got out of the shower. So, but if you don't reciprocate back to them what they think, you're in trouble. You're gonna be punished for that. Why? Because think about it. Even when he came to me with that little fun fact, he was under the impression that he can control me in some fashion to be able to keep a secret, you know, almost. And I noticed that whenever it spun off, once I was like, I'm not doing that for you. Like, what the actual fuck? You know, I noticed that then it spun off to word salad and things like that I did. Oh, well, you did it. And I'm like, whoa, we're not, that's why you messaged me? No, sir. Hello, block. So I came up with some of the things that I felt, and even the person that, you know, I was following, this content creator, when he was talking about healthy, there's three things, but it's healthy sex, toxic sex, which leads to like makeup sex. So if you have an argument or something like that with your significant other, and you know, maybe that night you guys were gonna, you know, have sex or whatnot, and that person withholds that from you, that is not only a form of abuse, but it's of lack. So that person wants you to feel bad. Okay, so that's their intention, to withhold, you know, a sexual act. And think about this too, it's actually a chakra. So you have your crown, your third eye, your throat, which I'm working on, my heart, solar, sacral. Now I used to get these two confused. I'm like, which one comes first? Think about the sun, solar, the solar's on top of your sacral. Your sacral is fertility. That's your uterus. That's where your creativity comes from. That's where your abundance begins, because not one of these people on earth would not even be present if it wasn't for a woman. This is a portal. And then the bottom one is your root chakra. So you may notice that when you go to the beach or you go to the lake, if you're around water, something to draw your energy down that is pulling down from the root chakra. If you have been heartbroken a lot, ooh, my puppy's moving my stand. If you've been heartbroken a lot, you may have closed off your heart chakra, or it's blocked. You know, I talk about, actually this is on this side, but I'm gonna go between the two because I felt like both of them were powerful, and I was just standing here like, well, which one do I talk about? But dark magic can come from that. So if you and the other person have a sexual relationship, and you feeling like an emotional intelligence to the act, right? There has to be an emotional intelligence, sorry. Not this immature, like I'm sneaking off to the bathroom at the high school with you to fuck in one of the stalls. Like that, I'm not there anymore. You know, so there has to be an emotional intelligence placed within the act, or the energy is going to be unbalanced. I don't know how to say that. That maybe you caught it. Attraction and self-love. So if both people have, like, they're attracted to each other, but they have self-love, meaning, you know, I like to talk about cups. So meaning when you put into somebody else's cup, right, you have enough. You're not taking out of their cup. And when I say that, I'm saying you came and he came. Or you came and she came, whoever's watching me. Because I know I'm starting to pick up more male followers. And I love that because the masculine energy is kind of behind. And I do think that it's from the emotional intelligence that you guys didn't receive when you were in childhood. You know, whether or not it be from mom or dad. You may have mom issues, dad issues, whatever, both. But I feel like that's where it stemmed. I know that's where that stemmed. And no, I don't have a degree in any of this, but this is all I do all day. So I just teach myself. I just want to learn why I'm doing certain things, or why other people do certain things. And there's always going to be another rabbit hole. Like, I don't feel like you learn it and then like that's infinite. No, I feel like then there's another spin, and then there's this, and then maybe this links to this, and it's all one. Everything's connected. So you have this self-love within yourself, which is also healing. So to me, the act of sex is sacred. So it's going to come from, this is solar, sacred. This is your again, abundance, infertility, growth, that kind of stuff. If it is damaged, if you do not feel safe within this sexual intercourse that you're doing with this other person, it's going to end up toxic, which is then going to lead to makeup sex, because the toxic sex it's not going to be a healthy sex anymore. It's going to have intentions and, you know, like lust and sex magic, manipulation, incubus, succubus. Those are literally two energies, two spirits that can come in and infiltrate. So I don't know if any of you guys have, if this has ever happened to you, but have you ever woken up from a dream and felt like you just had sex? Like literally just felt like that's incubus and succubus. They just literally just came had sex with your vessel, you know, because now you wake up. And one of the times I was actually in the Byron house, and our bedroom was in the back corner. And I remember waking up, and I felt like I literally had sex. And I'm thinking, well, like, did I have sex with myself? Like, I feel like I just had sex with somebody. But right before I woke up, like, you know how, like, your soul comes down to your body, and then you start to kind of become consciousness, and then your little eyes pop up, and you're like, shit, it's Monday. You know, there's a quick little, like, realm. And I don't know my sleep, like beta, alpha, all that kind of stuff, but it's real quick between the transitions of the two. And I could almost feel something lifting off of my body. So I wonder if my soul actually was up in the ethers, my vessel was just laying there. And this is why I also talk about protecting your vessel. Protect yourself. Your soul can leave at any time. A lot of times, like when people have like car accidents and stuff like that, sometimes cameras or whatever will picture or pick up, capture, catch the soul leaving the body before the impact. It's only the vessel. So there's an incubus and then a succubus. And then also you have illusions that are in it, or addictions that are in it. If you have sex with somebody that has sex addictions, more than likely they're going to perform. I just got buzzing in my ear. They all just pulled up. Hello. More than likely your sex partner, if that's all they watch is porn, that's how they are going to perform. Just like that. You know, there's not going to be a lot of emotion within it. There's not going to be a lot of touch in it, because if they have porn addictions, they're on their phone. There's nothing to touch. It's just their phone and themselves. You know, it's like, and you can tell that if you start to get into a relationship with somebody and then you guys have sex, if there's no heart chakra that connects the two, where it's the reciprocity is felt. It's not that's healthy. That's healthy. And the feeling of it is safe and protected. If you do not feel safe with your partner that you're having sex with, and when I say safe, I'm not talking just bodily harm. I'm saying, how do you know that they didn't just go have sex with somebody last night? How do you know that they're not chatting it up and, you know, taking pictures of, you know, little guy that turns left? You know, like, how do we know this? So if you don't feel safe within four walls to feel vulnerable within a relationship, that's a red flag. That's toxic, which then is going to end up, again, it goes back to makeup sex. If you are continuing to fight about things, the intention that goes into the relationship, if you have a couple, if you have a couple things like you want communication in the relationship, or you want a good sex life, or you want friendship, that kind of thing, if there's anything off, just like with the chakra system, it's going to all be off. Because if you want good sex within the relationship, but the communication is off, a lot of times that is how you get good sex, because now you're communicating to your partner what you want. Each body is different. Each sense is different. You know, we may all have the five senses, the five senses, but on the flip side, we all feel them at different degrees, different levels, different intensities, different, that kind of thing. So if you're with somebody that you've been with for a while and you notice that there is not a sexual a connection between the two, notice the flags. Notice those little things. Also notice what you're doing. If you're starting to pull away, you know, like if you're starting to pull away from it and you're just not even interested in that kind of like sex with them anymore, because you know what you're going to get and you know what you're not going to get, that's going to also put a strain on the relationship, because that's going to be your intention. Your intention is that you want to have friendship and good sex and, you know, a counterpart that you can grow old with and grow, right? Our whole mission here is to grow and get out of the matrix. But if you can't do that with somebody, the reciprocity of the energy is going to be different all the way around. It's not just going to be in the bedroom. It's going to be through communication, because if you can't communicate about your sex life, you sure as hell can't communicate about like the little things that bother you, you know, or you can't communicate with the things that bother you. I feel like I'd spit on, sorry. You can't communicate about the things that bother you, like with other people. So say if I'm your friend and I'm coming to you about another friend because I've mulled it over in my mind countless times, and I'm kind of coming to like a stop. I don't know how, I can't go any further. Help me further. So you pick this person that you feel will get you over the threshold of fuckery, you know? So you're telling that person what your problems are. The reciprocity of that, when you get involved, even like telling the next person whatever they come back with, and then you tell that, you know, the person that you're having a problem with, sorry, I feel like I'm kind of in circles here. If it's not returned to you like, hey, this is my problem, this is what I want to fix. If you can't do that with this person, all you wanted was friendship, good sex, you know, and communication. So if there's something that's, say, in my case, the communication was gone, you know, friendship gone, because that kind of ties, everything ties. Good sex, because not only like you're the friend that you can communicate, now you're slapping bodies, knocking boots, you know. I'm sorry I went kind of around. I started to have a couple like thoughts that came into my head all at one time, and I feel like I get jumbled, but sorry, stay with me. But makeup sex is out of hurt, anger, and lack. So if you just had an argument and maybe it was about sex, and now you're sitting there and you're like, you know, you're having this argument with this person, and now whenever you have sex with them, it's out of like you're being mad, or you know, having a problem with this because this isn't how you wanted to have sex. Now you're having sex just to appease this person so he'll stop yelling at you. You know, that's when the sex becomes warped. There's no, it's a blurred line between toxic and then makeup sex. That's blurry. What you're wanting to get back to is healthy emotional intelligence, because if the person had emotional intelligence, they would be able to communicate with you. That's communication, being emotional, and that Earth is the only planet that has emotions. So at this point, how long have you put that emotional intelligence out, and he's just banging you from behind while you're watching Rick and Morty? Like, you know, it's like you're so turned off by it that now it just becomes almost a chore. You know, dark magic will become a play in that too, especially if it's like incubus and succubus. And the reason why I say that is, what are you actually thinking at the moment? When you're in the middle of intercourse, what are you thinking? Yes, I'm sure you're like, oh, that's great, right there, over to the left, that kind of thing. But what is your bottom like intention, or, you know, like your visualization? Such a big word for me. Where's your energy? Is it stagnant energy? You know, do you notice that like once you're done, or once he's done and you're not done, he stops? You know, that's the stagnant. There's no reciprocity. It's not like, did you? Yep. All right, let's go downstairs and make Pop-Tarts. You know, like there's no like, it's just one-sided. That's going to be a stagnant energy, which then you're going to end up kind of feeling resentment because you're not getting those three things that you've asked for in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So the sacral chakra, I did talk about that for fertility, growth, abundance, more abundance, because I feel like everything has to be aligned. And the reason why I say more abundance is because I feel like everything has to be aligned for that overall, like you're aligned with Christ energy, you're aligned with energy from source. And when I say source, I'm talking about universe, universal energy that is going to give you what you desire. If you have blocks and stuff like that, even if you were raped, molested, anything that you felt, like sideways, right? That's going to be a block in your sacral chakra. And it may not even, okay, so sorry. So the energy has to come up and go down to the root, and it comes up to the crown, and it goes down to the root, and it's supposed to be this constant flow of energy, right? We are humans having we are spirit having a human experience. So the energy has to continue through us, even through our meridians, right? I'm sorry, I'm getting so many downloads. So if a person seems to be turned off or not interested, ask why. Well, I think that's where when we come through the rebirth and we start to like really like think about ourselves, what do we want? We ask for 3 things and we're not getting it. There's a tower moment somewhere. The tower moment also has to happen with you. It has to happen within you. You know, there needs to be, for me, this is what I think there needs to be a kundalini. Why am I rolling over my words? There needs to be a kundalini awakening. And when I say that, that's a burst of energy that literally flows through you and connects you. Sometimes it literally is a burst of energy and it can put you out for a couple days. You know, when you start to manage your own energy, and you guys know me, I'm hyper as hell. I have so much energy going around me, in me, through, all the time. When I learn to manage my own energy is when I learn to take control of my own being. I learn to put up those boundaries. I learn to put up those, like, I'm not doing this. This is who I am. Thank you for your reflection and your gaslighting, but I'm not buying what you're selling. You know, that rebirth, while you're putting up those walls, all the bricks that they threw at you, is gonna hurt. You know, I'm sure, think about the baby that comes through the canal. That's much smaller than what the baby is. So it hurts the baby too. You have to kind of like, you know, pull the baby out kind of a thing, you know, that. So remember that when you're going through these transitions. Remember that whenever you're going through like this rebirth, there's things that have to happen. Oh, this is what I was going to say. Okay. So hold on. We're here. Okay. So again, these were the 2 things, the sexual energy and just energy overall, because I feel like a lot of us are starting to wake up and we're starting to realize, like, you know what? I can see things now. I can, like, almost like you took the rose-colored glasses off. So if this is your 9 months, right? Here's your 9 months. Hold on. Right? About here, you're going to get certain things, right? I don't know. Bear with me because I don't remember. Like maybe you get your shape and then your eyes, and maybe here you get, I think by here you got fingers. All the nurses on the live are like, what the fuck, Lee? About here, maybe you got a leg. You know, don't laugh. What I'm saying, maybe you got, no, you did. Maybe you got some ears here. And then maybe some hair. I would have failed nursing school so bad. But in this time, you have to remember, say it's going to take you 3 months to heal. Or no, say it's going to take 9 months to heal, but you're right here. It's okay. There's other things that are going to come, because I started to go, why the hell do I keep having these same people around me? Why the hell do I feel like I'm putting out good energy and what I'm getting back is shit? Well, that is a lesson. That's the lesson that you have to grow from. So now you find your lesson. Maybe it's abandonment. Hooked on phonics. That's what I don't like, right? So if I go back to my healthy toxic makeup sex, right? If I don't want to be abandoned, then do you think I would hyper vigilant? Is that a word? I would be more hyper vigilant in sex because I don't want to lose them, right? Oh my God, I have to put it down, like, so that I don't lose this person. I got to make sure I turn out all these tricks out so I don't lose this person. That's going to overflow into your sexual activities. Make sure that when you start to pinpoint the things that bother you or that have hurt you, blocked you, anything like that, keep turning it around. It's almost like a Rubik's Cube. Keep turning it until it it's for you till it fits, right? So maybe that's abandonment. The birth canal is full of water and fluid. Think about your senses. What do you hear? Okay, so when you're going through the birth canal, right? Say you're here, you're about to do this rebirth. Because remember earlier, I was like, I swear to God, I'm going to die in my 40s. I died of my ego. I died of myself. I had the rose-colored glasses literally ripped off my face. Thank you, ancestors. So at this point, you're going through this and you see something great coming. Like you're like, you know what? I only have this level, all these levels left. And I'm going to understand this. Because I remember going through a portion of my life that I felt confused. I'm like, I don't understand these people. These people are my family. I don't get it. I don't think like them. I don't do like them. I don't behave like them. My morals aren't them. Like, why am I the little black sheep? What's going on? I get it now. I understand that now. And that's where I had to get all the way to here and have a total ego death. Ego. Hold on. Death. And then you get this rebirth, which then you're thinking, okay, so in the birth canal, you'll hear fluids, water sounds. It may feel slimy, a little lubricated in there, right? So the sounds during this time, use your eyes, your hearing, listen to the details in other people, listen to what other people are talking about, listen to what the first thing that something comes out of their face. What's the first thing that somebody presents to you? Is it, oh my God, I hate today, da 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 da? Or is it, grand rising, hope everybody, like what is your infliction? Where's your energy? It's all about energy, I promise. Because I know in these times, about right here is when I was left alone at the house for a whole last year because my partner went to Afghanistan. So I had a lot of time by myself, a lot of time, because my kids were already grown. So this whole year, let's call it a year, in the sixth month, right? I spent a lot of time alone. So once I got to the 7th and then the 8th year that I procrastinated on, because I already started to see it, I started to see my abandonment trigger within this, like, he's triggering me. It's not a healing type of energy. And that's what I'm saying on the other side. The healthy side is very healing. When you have sex with somebody, there should be no strings attached. There shouldn't be like this manipulation or hidden motives. That's what it was. I even put a little star by it. Hidden motives, to capture this person, to get back at another person, to ease my pain of a breakup, or to, and even whenever you do that, I just saw little sprinkles over here. Hello, angels. Even when you do that, and you have like one night stands and stuff like that, you're picking up other people's energies. There is a sexually transmitted demons that you're gathering, because remember, we're the portal. So all these energies, so you may have somebody come to you that actually wants to take your energy, which is fine. That's a sexual energy. I get that. But they can also take other things, like your security in yourself. Maybe they said something like, you're going to wear granny panties? Yes, motherfucker, because I don't anticipate I'm coming tonight. So, that's what you got. So the birthing canal is going to be stressful, and that's this stress. So the next 2 years, then I had this final year that I'm like, okay, I get it. I understand. I've healed. There's senses. I understand my abilities. Like you can't unsee the stuff anymore. The one thing that I do want to say, and I'll let you guys go. I'm up to 30 minutes. You guys are protected. And I use this analogy because you're protected within the amniotic fluid. That's also an anointment when you're outside. Anointment? Did I say that? Is that anointed? When you're outside in the physical realm, this is your body outside of that protective layer, right? You're still protected. You're still under the umbrella of God. Now, if you choose, because there's free will, to step outside of that umbrella, that's your choice. But I don't think everybody has the covering, because I don't feel like everybody that comes in, that drops in as a soul into a human vessel, has good intentions here on earth. because I not everybody, no, I don't believe, I believe that not every human person that has came into this life has a good soul. And the only reason, thank you, the only reason why I'm thinking that is because think about the demons. Think about the fallen angels. Think about Cain and Abel. You know? So I don't feel like every soul, whether or not it's packaged nicely or not, I don't feel like every soul is here to lift the vibration or the frequency of the earth. I think they are here to distract us, to keep us down, to keep us low, our light low, while we're in this realm. So, and the last thing, this is it. So your soul is the essence. The essence. When somebody says, "What's your essence?" My essence literally is coming out of my hair. It's coming off of my body, my vessel. The auric field is your essence. What do you present to the world? What do you offer to somebody's table, of life? And that's also light, wisdom, knowledge, power. Do you offer good intentions and good energy to the world, or are you offering bad intentions, dark magic, incubus, succubus kind of energy, no connection in the sexual realm or communication wise? Like, I feel like if those three things are in lack, I feel like that's bad. That's bad. That means that person can't even connect to you in sex, which is it's an easy act. It's what do you put into it? What do you create? And I'm not saying like crazy. I mean, shit, if you're into something crazy, I don't care. I'm not. I'm not. So, no. But, it's just intention. It's the energy. It's the push behind whatever you're doing. So start to kind of gather some of the flags of the people around you with their intention, but then also start to look at your partner who you're having sex with and start to gather up those red flags too. And if you have too many of them, then it's time to leave. I love you guys.